build a little bit of community, and hopefully to make a whole bunch of progress in our hip mobility and side splits. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is warm up. I don't expect you to come in with any previous exercise for the day, so let's go ahead and warm up. First thing we're going to do is called hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving your hip through its full range of motion, and we're going to start with this high knee. Lift that knee as high as it can go, straight up in front of you. We're going to open up that hip directly to the side. From the side, it'll actually look a little bit like this. You're trying to open it so wide that from the side you look like, I don't know, a pencil. Cool. From here, we're going to rotate the leg and try and get to horizontal. Once you're there, we're going to try and go a little bit further. We're going to go rotate, 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 rotate. Bring that knee down, bring the ankle up. And once you're here, bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. My hamstrings were almost going to cramp up there for a second. I was holding it for too long. Feel that stretch in the hip flexor and come back. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side. We're going to do 10 on the right side. Let's go. If it sounds confusing, don't worry. I'm going to call out all the things as we go. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. If this is your first time, go ahead and grab something. Give yourself a little bit of support to help with balance, because we want to focus on getting those muscles to work well. And then after that, you can figure out how to balance. I was scared to kick the table. All right, let's go. Go for number 3. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. I think this is 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. 10. Oh, that is hip cars going forward. Now we're going to do hip cars going forward on the other leg. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. Open up, ankle up, down and back. Remember, these are all about getting to your most extreme range of motion using your muscle power. And we're building both strength and mobility. I think that's 5. Knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. Your hips, you're trying to keep them in place. They're going to shift around as you throw your legs all over the place, but you want to keep them mostly stable. It's a goal to aspire to. 8, open, ankle, down and back. 9, open, ankle, down and back. 10, open, ankle, down and back. Oh, those are hip cars going forward. Hopefully your legs feel like they move a little bit smoother, if not just totally wiped out and tired. Take a couple of seconds to break, grab a sip of water, and if you're just joining in, we're doing 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little community, and hopefully make a bunch of progress in our hip mobility and our side splits. Cool? Let's keep going. We're doing hip cars. We're going backwards now. And when we go backwards, some of the order is a little bit different, obviously, because we're going backwards. And it looks a little like this. We're going to start by bringing the hamstring and the glutes back, contract them, flex the muscle right here in your hip flexors. We're going to lift that leg up to the side first. If you want to be cool, you can swing around and go whoosh, do a little kick. Then we're going to bring the knee down and the ankle up. Try to go as high as you can. Wah! And do the opposite. Bring the ankle all the way down, and we're going to finish up by bringing the knee to the front. It's a lot of information. Might be a little bit confusing. Don't worry. I'm going to call out everything we need to do. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 1, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 2, we're doing 10 of these, 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 8 is last 2, keep on reaching, go for your maximum range of motion, 9, which means lift that leg far back, lift that leg high to the side, rotate that ankle as high as you can, bring the ankle down, lift this knee as high as you can, and bring that knee forward. I believe that is 10. Whew. We have done 3/4 of the hip curls. We've got one last side to do. Shake out your legs, do a little wiggle dance, loosen up those hips, massage them if you need to, and let's get into the 4th and final hip curl. Let's do it. Again, grab onto something for balance if you need it. Helps you to focus on the important part, which is strengthening the hip. Balance is a nice bonus. Focus on strengthening the hip. Cool. Let's go. Bring that leg back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch in the hip flexor. This knee is coming really far back behind the standing knee as far as you can bring it. We're going to lift directly to the side. Going to get horizontal first. We're going to give it a little kick. Then we're going to rotate the knee down and the ankle up. Rotate. Do the opposite. Bring the ankle all the way down, knee all the way up, and finish by bringing the knee forward. I have a little pop that's going to happen somewhere here, and it has not happened, so I guess we're just going to go for round 2. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. There we go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 2. We got 10 in total. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 8. We're almost done. Make sure your last reps, you're focusing on that form as much as possible. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 10. Those are the hip cars. I hope your hips are feeling a little bit looser. I'm sure they're feeling a little bit more tired, but maybe you're feeling a little smoother. Cool. That is the first of our 3 warm-up exercises. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff. 3 warm-up exercises to get our blood pumping, our heart pumping, and our bodies warmed up so that we can do a whole bunch of stretches. We're doing 5 stretches, and the 5th and final stretch is going to be a variation of the side split. Don't worry if you can't get all the way down. I talk us through some things that will help us slowly get there. Cool? All right. Let's jump in to warm-up exercise number 2. What we just did was pretty intense, so we're going to trench it out a little bit. We're going to get into what's called the elephant walk, and to start that off, we're going to get into this L shape. It looks like we're just trying to touch your toes with a straight back. That is exactly what we are doing. From here, just chill out a little bit. You might feel some tension, some tightness just below your glutes. You might feel it in your hamstrings. If you lean really far forward, you might be feeling it in your calves and toes, and that is absolutely normal. So do a little wiggle, shift around, let your hamstrings relax a little bit, and breathe. Again, this is the warm-up, and we are just trying to relax and recover a little bit after the hip cars. So don't worry too much about intensity. We're not trying to do anything extreme or fast or powerful just yet. We're just trying to let the muscles relax. And now that we've hung out here for a little bit, let's start bending one knee at a time. So left knee is bent, belly button is still pulled down to the ground. I don't even know if I said that in the beginning, but we're pulling we're pulling the belly button down as low as we can. Everything else you can basically ignore. Just focus on the belly button. And when I say ignore, I mean don't spend all your time trying to bring your head down into the ground and bend your back so that your shoulders, your chest is coming down. We only care about the belly button. When you start bending like this, you put a lot of pressure on each of the vertebrae in your spine, and it's not going to make that much of a difference. So don't bend them. Make sure they stay healthy. From here, we're bending one knee at a time. We're keeping that belly button low. And we're going and trying to stay as low as possible as we switch from side to side. Your hamstrings are going to feel a little weird. They're going to feel like there's a whole bunch of like tension all over the place and you're not quite sure what's happening. Maybe you'll feel things kind of sliding and popping inside your leg and you've never felt that before. That, for the most part, should be okay. Take it nice and slow, gentle. Try to keep that back straight. Bring the belly button down towards the ground and once your hamstrings feel like they're a little bit looser, you're folding a little bit further, then we're probably ready to move on. Shake out those legs, give them a nice wiggle, flap them around, let them relax, and breathe. And come back into that exact same position because we're going to keep going with thoracic rotation. Fold back down. We're trying to get back into this L-shaped position. We're going to keep the stance about hips width. We're going to bend left knee, keep the right leg straight. We're going to take our left hand, reach across to the right side, to the right ankle. We're going to push against that ankle, rotate the chest up to the right, extend the right arm, extend it and reach back behind you. Look at the arm with your head, your eyeballs, and come back down. This is thoracic rotation. Thoracic rotation is just fancy for pretty much the middle part of your back. Do the same on the other side. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Right arm reaches across to the left side. Chest rotates to the left. Arm extends out, and your head is rotating to the left. I might talk fast, but you don't have to move fast. Take it nice and slow and gentle, and that is one rep. One on the right and one on the left. We're going to do 5 in total. Let's go. Reach. And down. And reach. And down. If you want to feel your hamstrings a little bit more, which I will not say is a bad thing, you can try to bring your belly button down as low as possible and then start that rotation. To the right. To the left. I think that's 3. We got 2 left. Keep on reaching back. See if you can get a little bit further every reach. We're only doing 2 more, so it should be totally feasible for you to keep reaching a little bit further every time. I can't remember. I think that was 5, but I'm going to do an extra one just in case that wasn't 5. 5 or 6. That is thoracic rotation. I hope your backs are feeling a little bit looser and your arms and shoulders are getting a little bit of work because that is all the work that they're going to get. We're going to move on into more hip mobility. If you have never been here before, we're doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day, plus hip mobility. We do this every single day to practice some consistency. That's why we're here every day. To build a bit of community, I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat, help support each other, and help each other feel a little bit more support. My goal is that I bring good vibes to the internet. We bring consistency. We bring a little community, make it a little bit more fun to practice something every single day, and hopefully make a whole bunch more progress in our hip mobility and our side splits. If that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back because that is what we are all about. We're live at 9 p.m. Eastern every single day, and on weekends, 9 a.m. Eastern as well. So put it in your calendar, show up. Okay, we're going with this. It is time for the 3rd warm-up exercise, the Cossack switches. But I feel like I have not been to the chat in a little bit, so I'm going to scroll just a second. Oh, okay, there's a lot of chat. That's awesome. All right, give me a sec. I'm scrolling. Che says, hello. Welcome back, Che. Thank you for being here all the time. I appreciate it. I'm scrolling. Lots of people have joined. Okay, that's too much scrolling. All right. I can't find anything. Let's. I started at the very top and there's just a lot of join notifications. So I have not gotten all the way to the end. I'll review chat some more in a little bit, but we're going to move on into the Cossack switches. All right. The Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We're standing, decently wide position. All of this is subject to change. Everything will adjust, so you don't have to worry about perfection right here in this moment. What I want you to do is try to drop down and squish into a small ball, as small as possible. Hug your knees, squish. If your ankles come up off the ground because you don't have enough ankle mobility, that is totally fine. We're just turning into a ball on the floor. I want you to feel the hip compressing right here as you bring your knees towards your chest. I want you to feel pressure in the front of your ankles because your shin bone is coming down towards your toes. I want you to feel that calf stretch, the Achilles tendon, working overtime, trying to keep your calves attached to your leg. We're just going to hang out here for a little bit. And while we do that, I'm going to show you a couple of things. We're doing this because we want our hips to get really low, tight, and compressed in a little bit. And the reason why I want that for the Cossack switch is because we're going to do something that looks like this. We're going to extend one leg out, and this leg over here, you can follow along, by the way, you can stick that one leg out, is going to have the heel down, the toes up, and the knees up. In this moment where we're still trying to squish down, if your heel in the foot is coming up still, that is fine, because we're just trying to compress. But in a little bit, when we start moving from side to side, I want you to try your best to keep your heels down on the floor, okay? What is happening with this side? This leg, pretty much from the middle of my body over, is already in a side split position. And we need this position because the thigh bone is rotating out and not smashing into our hip bone. This is super important. Actually, this is the most important detail of the whole entire thing to get better side splits. So I'm going to repeat it a whole bunch of times. Cool? Cool. From here, we're going to do something that looks vaguely like putting our hands down and scooting our butts over and getting ourselves to the other side. I want you to keep squishing, but squish on this side. And again, on this side, your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. We have spent a bunch of time getting squished, getting compressed, getting our hips ready for some really effective Cossack switches. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple of ways to move from side to side, and you can follow along. We're going to do 10 reps of that together. All right. So to keep things easy, or easier, I want you to try your best to plant this heel and have this heel on the ground at the same time. That might mean you have to come out of that squish position, have to come up a little bit. Your quads are going to fire, and it's going to be a little bit more tiring. Cool? Part of the reason why we squish is because your quads will probably not be working super hard as part of the squish, and I can talk without exhausting you. All right. From here, bring the heels down, and the goal is to get our hips over to their side. So you can put your hands down and lean forward, get your hips over to the other side, and try to sit in that position. Try to squish down. As long as the heel is down, you're good. And if you can't get the heel down every single time, you're going a little bit fast, you forgot, that is okay. Don't beat yourself up. That is totally fine. Just try your best. From here, we can make it a little bit harder. You can remove that hand support, still lean forward. You can make it even harder by standing up a little bit straighter, sticking your arms out, and going a couple of these that way. If your knees are getting a little bit achy, hanging out down here, keeping your butt low, you can come up to a quarter squat. Come across first, and then sink down into the squish position. Then come back up, over, and sink down into that squish position. If you're feeling really strong with bad knees, you can come up into a full squat and sink down. Full squat, sink down. Those are your options. You got lots of them. You can experiment. There's no mandatory anything. So I hope that's enough information to get you started. Let's go. We're going to do 10. Hang on the right side. Make sure your heels are down to the best of your ability. And come over to the other side. 1, 2. Remember, you can put your hands down to Give yourself a little bit of support. If your knees are achy, you can come up to a quarter squat, half squat, come over to the other side, sink down, then come up over to the other side and sink down. I think this is 4, 5, 6, 7. If this is really hard and challenging, that is absolutely normal. This is an intense exercise, working a lot of muscles you probably don't work very often. I think it was 9. And last one. Boom. That is 10 Cossack switches. We did the Cossack switches because we're strengthening a whole bunch of muscles in our legs. The more power and the more strength we have in these hip muscles, the easier it will be to control them and to get into more intense stretches. Plus, we needed a warm up that would get you sweating really hard and your blood pumping. So that is the end of our warm up, and we are almost ready for some stretches. The first stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. I recommend you go grab a cushion real quick. Go grab a sip of water, and I'm going to check the chat and be a little bit more thorough this time. Let's see. Ganowski says here. Welcome back, Ganowski. Ajax says, this works nice. Follow along, everyone. Thanks, Ajax. I appreciate it. Travel with Roxy says, you don't have to twist as much if you're not able to. Yes. In the thoracic rotations, where we are pointing our hands up into the air and rotating, if you don't feel like you can, that's absolutely A-okay. We're just trying to get what you can out of your body and do it nice and gentle. I talk fast because I'm trying to give you lots of information, give you lots of stuff. Maybe it's a little bit too much, but you don't have to move fast. Try to be calm, controlled, relaxed. That is what it's all about. Oddly D says yes. Good vibes. All right. Oh, I accidentally scrolled really far to the bottom of the screen. Katerina says, thanks for making this a little bit more fun. Lovely. Akaria is a retired professional dancer. Oof, okay. We got a powerhouse in here. Kat G says, I missed the first 2. What were they? Ooh, the first 2 warm-up exercises that we do are hip cars, and they look vaguely like this. We're bringing the knee up high. We're opening up that hip. We're rotating the leg, bring the ankle up, bring the leg down and back, and trying to do hip extension. I have really bad hip extension. Our retired professional dancer might have insane hip extension. So it doesn't have to look the exact same way mine does. We're just bringing the knee back, and we're trying to get past this line being perfectly straight. I don't really get much further than perfectly straight. So that's where I'm at. Okay. Oh, sorry. That was the first one. And the second one is called an elephant walk. We basically get into a hamstring stretch. Then we bend one knee and the other knee and one knee and the other knee. And we work on loosening up those hamstrings and those calves a little bit. Cool. Oddly D says Mississippi here. Ooh, represent. Iowa. People shouting out where they're from. Oh, and Travel with Darcy has answered that question. Okay. Lulu, welcome back. It's good to see you. Battery, I just answered that question, so I think we have wrapped up most of the chat. Awesome. Okay. Janelle says, it's exciting to get stronger each time. Yes. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're training and you're feeling like you're making a little bit of progress every time. That's amazing. Okay. Let's get into the stretches. We have 5 stretches. The first one is a hamstring stretch. And this specific stretch is going to go by lots of different names depending on what sports, what part of the world you're in. So it's mostly hamstring stretch, and that's what I'm going to call it. We're going to drop down onto our knees, onto the cushion. If you don't have a cushion, it's totally fine. But if your knees are a little achy, I recommend you grab a cushion. We're going to point our hips forward, our shoulders forward, our head also forward. We're going to stick that leg that we're going to stretch in this hamstring stretch also forward. If you're immediately off balance because your hips are too narrow, too together, you can open it up just a little bit to help you with your balance. Cool? We're going to take this belly button. Everything is about the belly button because it's attached right above the hip bones. Can't hide your belly button too much. We're going to fold that belly button down. We're going to bring it towards our thighs. All right? Belly button touch the thighs. Cool? Cool. Let's go. We're going to get into position. I'm rotating. You don't have to move. And we're bringing the belly button down to the thighs. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. They're going to be unhappy with you. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a big inhale, slowly exhale, and while we exhale, fold. Take some normal breaths. You've probably folded a little bit, gotten a little bit deeper. I want you to notice that we don't want your back to turn into a ball. We don't want this. We want something that's relatively straight. If it's not perfectly straight, that's okay, but we want it to be not this, okay? From here, I hope you've taken some normal breaths. We're gonna do another inhale, exhale. Let's go, inhale. Exhale and fold. Okay, now your hamstrings are probably on fire, screaming and crying. Good. Sounds good. Let's hold this for 30 seconds and we're ready to move on. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Remember, this is about bringing the belly button to touch the thighs. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. 18, 17, 16. Remember to breathe. Breathe through that discomfort. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on up out of that stretched position. If you have tight hips, you might feel a lot of pressure here in the middle of your back because you're trying to push your hips down and your chest wants to go down, but you're fighting it and you're trying to pull your chest back up to keep that line, your spine, straighter. And that is normal. That's going to happen. It's going to be really tiring. And that's why it's hard to keep your back straight. Cool. I don't know why I spun the cushion. We're switching to the other side and continuing. Drop the other knee, extend the leg out in front, fold the belly button down to the thigh, and as your hamstrings tighten up, try your best to breathe normal. Then we're going to do some inhale, exhale. Ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. Your hamstrings are probably screaming at you. Maybe you're feeling the stretch sort of where the hamstrings tie into your hips because that's where they're connected between your knee and your hips. And you're going, oh, why does my butt hurt? That is probably where your hamstrings connect into your hip. Whew. From here, we're going to take another big breath. Whew. Inhale. Exhale and fold. It's so uncomfortable. Try to keep that back relatively straight and let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. You might notice that your legs have different amounts of flexibility. That is kind of normal. Just like your hands have different amounts of dexterity, or maybe you have a stronger arm. Sometimes you have a stronger leg and you also have a more flexible leg. That happens. 20, 19. If your knees are starting to ache a little bit from this stretch because you're putting a lot of pressure with your legs straight, you can give them a slight bend. When you do that, the hamstring stretch is reduced. So I want you to fold forward extra hard when that happens. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bring the ankle back in. Rest. That is our first stretch. We got 4 more to go. This cushion right here, you don't need anymore. You can toss it off to the side. Just try not to break anything because that would be bad. That's a distraction. Don't break stuff. All right. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. It is called the butterfly stretch. In some parts of the world, it's called the tailor's pose. And it looks basically like this. We're bringing our feet together. pull it into our groin, and we're trying to bring our knees down into the ground. If you're very flexible, you can probably bring your knees down and you can fold forward. Most people are going to have a combination of issues, so we're going to do a variation and use some props. That's going to make it a lot easier. Get your butt over to a wall or something sturdy that you can lean against, like a table leg. I'm going to demonstrate with the wall because the wall is better. Get your hips, your shoulder, your head against the wall so you have this nice posture for like 30 seconds today. And grab your feet, pull them together, pull them towards your groin, and we're in this position. When you're leaning against the wall, you should probably feel a little bit of pressure in your mid back. The wall is supporting you, and that's awesome. When we're in this position, it's easier to focus on the goal of bringing the knees down into the ground and really opening up the hips. All right, that's it. We're opening up the hips. We're going to use these muscles, the outer thigh muscles and the glutes, to help open up the legs, because anytime we're stretching, we also want to get stronger so we can control our bodies when we achieve that new flexi position. Cool. We want to go, I can do that without gravity. It's going to be a hard road, but we got to work on it. So from here, work those muscles, pull your knees down into the ground, outer thighs and glutes. Once you've done that for a couple of seconds and you're feeling a stretch in your inner thigh, in your groin muscles right here, we're going to apply some extra force with our hands. We're going to push our legs down, and you're going to feel pressure in your shoulders, in the back of your head, because when we're pushing the legs down, our back is also trying to fall backwards. The force has to go somewhere. But if you have a wall behind you, the wall will keep you stuck there, and you'll just feel the force in the back of your head, in your shoulders. So that's normal, and that works. Cool? That's it. We're holding this for 30 seconds. I'm going to move because I don't fit in this tiny little corner. And I hope you're ready, because 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. And we're still contracting those muscles, the outer thigh and the glutes. We're trying to pull the legs open. We're trying to strengthen our own muscles whenever possible so that we can be powerful. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax the legs. If your legs are feeling really tired, they suddenly don't seem to know how to work, that is kind of normal. Just use your arms, lift your legs for a second, give them a shake on both sides, and they'll wake up from the nap that they just took, and you'll be able to get better into the next position. Shake out the legs, give them a quick wiggle, relax the hips, because that was tough. And we're going to move on into the third stretch. It is called a standing pancake. It looks kind of like this. We're basically opening up our legs. It doesn't have to hurt at the hips, so if it's already hurting, bring your legs in a little closer. Fold forward, bring the belly button, point it towards the ground, and if it looks like we're just doing the elephant walks that we did in the beginning, but with a wider stance, that is absolutely correct. This is the starting position for the standing pancake. From here, the goal is to bring the belly button down towards the ground and take, everything else along with it, and fold forward. Yeah, it's really hard. It's a really challenging stretch, and that's why we do the standing variation. When we do this, gravity is pulling our heads, our chest, our upper body down into the ground and giving us a little bit of help, and we need all the help that we can get. So standing pancake and standing versions of stretches tend to have gravity pulling you down, and that is very helpful. From here, once we're in this position, you might notice you want to fall forward. If that is the case, I recommend you stick your butt just a little bit further back behind your feet, and that will help you to counterbalance all of the weight because your head is big. All right. We're going to make it worse by extending our arms up above our head, trying to keep it horizontal and level, and you're going to feel the intensity of that stretch, because as soon as you lengthen the lever, gravity feels way more powerful. It's just how gravity works. Cool. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're sticking our hips back, sticking our arms out to counterbalance it, and we're folding down. Bring the belly button down to the ground. Let's go. 30 seconds. You can widen the stance if you want. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. There's a pro and a con to the standing variation of the pancake, and that is your inner thigh muscles have to support you and hold you up while you're doing it. So if your legs are feeling like they're shaking and they're going crazy, that is absolutely normal. The quick fix is to bring your legs in a little bit more and close that space so that your muscles are in a stronger position. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, put your heads down. Come on out of that stretch. We're only holding on for 30 seconds. Come on up. If your legs are super tired and they're not moving and they're not working at all, that is normal. Oh, come back into a straightened-ish position. Try to relax. And when you're feeling a little bit more normal, we'll be ready to move on. The standing pancake is a huge struggle for a lot of different reasons. One, most people, because we sit down all the time, have absolutely no control over what our hips are doing. I talk about the hips when I'm talking about pointing the belly button all sorts of directions. That's because the belly button is here, right where my thumb is, and the tops of your hips, or the tops of my hips at least, are like right here where my other hand is. They're basically the same thing, the tops of the hips. So when I'm talking about bringing the belly button down, I'm really talking about folding the hips forward, right? And most people, because we all have tight hamstrings, pretty much like 95% of the world, you're going to get here and you're going to start feeling really stuck. The pancake is basically folding and getting even deeper and getting into an even crazier position and getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Except you combine it with opening up the legs really wide and folding forward, right? That is hard for a combination of two reasons. One, the hamstrings, like I said earlier, are attached just below your knee and into the pelvis. The pelvis is that like heart-shaped thing here, and it attaches right into your sits bone. So if you're seated and you felt like that spot in your butt where it's really pointy and bony, that is basically where your tailbone, where the hamstrings attach to your pelvis. So anytime you fold forward, the bottom of your pelvis goes from like your mid-thigh-ish area, goes all the way back here to the back, and that is the hamstring stretch that you are feeling. So the further forward you bend, the further back the hamstrings go, and the more painful it's gonna feel. Anatomy, cool? All right, let's move on. I hope you've had a couple of seconds to let your muscles relax and chill out, because we're moving on to stretch number 4. It is the pigeon or the figure 4. If you're a regular, you know which one you prefer, so you can go ahead and do that one. In general, the goal of this stretch is to bring the ankle across the body and bring our belly button down towards that leg. All right. When we're in this position, we want to feel the stretch here in the side of the glute, in the side of the butt. If you know what a pigeon stretch looks like, is basically that same position on the ground. Cool? And if you know what a figure 4 looks like, it looks a little bit like this. We're laying down on the ground, we're crossing the leg over, and we're bringing the leg to our chest. Boom. From the side, it looks like this. Ta-da! Okay, I can't remember which version of the stretch we're going to teach today. I switch off and I give a little bit of extra information on one or the other because I can talk forever. So I'm going to do figure 4 because I'm already laying on my back. From here, we're going to take the leg that we want to stretch. We're going to cross it over to the other side, rest the ankle on the knee. We're going to reach our hands through the triangle you just made, reach around, and we're going to pull the knee towards us. That's it. That's the stretch. Straightforward, simple, You just have to keep on applying pressure, and occasionally, if you round your back too much, you turn into a ball and you start falling from side to side. So try to keep your back nice and flat. Imagine you're relaxing the top half of your body. Cool. Let's go. We're going to hold this stretch for 30 seconds. Keep on trying to pull the leg in towards your chest, and we're feeling the stretch here in the side of the glute, in the side of the hip. Ready? Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you're feeling a little bit of knee discomfort, you can cup the knee and pull the knee directly in, and that will actually make the stretch feel way harder anyway. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Feel free to adjust your hand positioning, experiment. Doesn't have to match mine perfectly. You want to just feel that stretch over here. That's what matters. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If you're feeling too chill, pull your leg a little harder. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is the figure 4 stretch. Take a second to breathe. You're already laying down on the ground. Just enjoy it. Hopefully the material of your floor is nice and cooling to help you feel a little bit chilled out. But if it's not, then we'll wrap this up soon. Let's go. We're going to get back into this position. We're going to cross the leg over to the other side, and we're going to reach our hands through. We're going to pull the leg towards our chest, and that is the stretch. I'm gonna spin around. You don't have to move. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. You might notice one leg has way more flexibility than the other. That is normal. For me, my right leg is way worse than my left. So I'm definitely going to support that knee and give it a little bit of love. I stick my knee in my elbow and pull on it that way. And I have completely lost count this time. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on down and out of that stretch. There's a couple of different places where you might have felt the stretch outside of that hip, that side glute. One might be your hamstrings, and one might be your adductors, your inner thighs, depending on what is stiff and what you're struggling with. Okay, that's stretch number 4. I think it's time for me to get up off the ground because it's getting too comfortable. We're ready. We're ready for some side splits. Stretch number 5 is the final stretch. And to make everything a little bit harder, we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of the final stretch of our side splits. But before we jump right into those, I'm going to talk about safety. I'm going to talk about stretching and some psychology brain stuff. I'll try to keep it short and concise. I have been signaled to check the chat. Maybe it is because Liz asked the question. I have been getting more cramps in my shins at night. Ideas to stretch before sleep. Your shins are here. This cramp is usually the tibialis muscle, often shortened and called the tibs. And their main job is to pull your toes up into the sky. So if you focus on doing a whole bunch of stuff for your shins and your calves in general, that should help. Usually when you have cramps, it could be because your muscle here is very tight. There's lots of different ways to do some work on your shins. One of them is to point your toes and then kind of just sit back a little bit. If you elevate your hips, that will actually, that's all in your quads. There's nothing going on in your shins. But if you sit back like that and you have a little bit of something to put underneath your shins, I'm looking for a massage ball. I cannot seem to find anything. Okay, we'll just imagine this little bottle is a massage ball. If you hang out and just hang out in that kneeling position on top of stuff, it will put a lot of pressure. If you place the bottle right on top of those muscles and help you to basically give them a really intense massage and get that muscle loosened up. Alternatively, and I think you should do both, you want to strengthen your tibialis muscles so that they don't cramp as easily. To strengthen your tibialis muscles at home, you can do something like resting your butt against the wall and pulling your toes up into the sky. All right, I'm gonna do a couple for demonstration purposes. You're basically contracting the tibialis muscle, the muscle that's cramping. You might immediately struggle and start cramping up really hard. And I think you just have to work through it if that's the case. Strengthening the muscle will give you a little bit more control and will probably help you cramp less, typically. Is that all I got? I think that's all I got. All right, cool. Let's move on into our side splits. The side splits and all really intense stretching, the scary stuff, is about relaxation. It's about relaxing the muscles, all right? And to help you relax, we want to do a couple of things. One of them is to make you feel safe, to make you feel secure, to help you feel calm and chilled out, right? If you're on a tight deadline, you're like, I need to get to the next thing, I need to get to the next thing, you're going to be really tense. And that tension is not going to help you to relax the muscles and help you get into a longer, stretched out position. Same thing, if you're feeling like you're going to fall, if you feel like you're going to get hurt, you're going to be a little nervous, your chest is feeling that pressure, and you're all tensed up. That is also not going to help you relax very much. So if that means you got to put cushions down all over the place, couch cushions, dog beds, pillows, whatever it is that you need to surround yourself with to feel comfortable, to feel secure, to help you relax into a stretch, then you got to do that stuff. You might just need a little bit of a chair to give yourself a little bit of support, and that's enough safety for you, but everybody's tolerance for scary things is a little bit different, so you got to figure it out for yourself. I recommend that you do one step, and that one is get 8 to 12 inches away from something that you can fall back against. All right. In my case, I have a table. Once we're in a side split position, if I start falling backwards, I can just casually rest here and look like that. It was super intentional that I just fell. If you have a wall, then I recommend you use the wall. That's because the wall isn't going to go anywhere and doesn't have typically too many sharp, pointy corners to stab you in the back. Cool. Again, once we get into this position, if you lose balance, you're like, oh no, what's happening? Ah! And you fall backwards. Hopefully your shoulders hit, maybe your low back hits, maybe your butt hits, and that will keep you from falling all the way into the ground and hurting your butt. Because your little tiny tailbone bones, those are sharp and pointy, and it hurts way more when they fall on the ground. Cool? That is my safety spiel. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of something that you can fall back on to help keep you safe, help you feel a little bit more secure. Practice falling back on it a couple of times if you want, just to feel extra safe, extra secure. And with that, we're ready to start with some side split stuff. Let's go. We're gonna open up the legs decently wide. We don't want pain in the hips. So if you're feeling pain already, bring your legs a little closer together. And once again, the goal is to fold. Everything is about folding. Once you're folded down, you should be able to more comfortably open up your legs. And I want you to put your hands down when you can. If you're struggling with putting your hands down because you're quite stiff and you're quite high up in the air, you can grab a chair, grab some yoga blocks, something to elevate your hands. From here, I want you to lean forward in your hands, and there's less weight in your legs. When you do that, it will be easier to externally rotate the legs. That means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. All right? This leg external rotation is what we need to do in order to be able to sit in a side split position with the chest up. It's basically the same as this position where our toes are pointing forward and our head is pointing forward towards you guys at the camera. Once we rotate the legs so the toes are pointing up, we can also sit up. And once we sit up, gravity is pulling straight down into the legs and helps us get into a deeper stretch. I hope that makes sense. This is my second attempt at explaining this. Yesterday was a little bit rough. And from here, I want you to walk your hands back towards your hips. Put that pressure into your legs. And we're going to do one little wiggle from side to side to see if we can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. That is all we're doing. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Walk your hands forward. Come into a kneeling position. Slowly pull your legs in. And your legs are probably really tired. That's okay. That's normal. That's what this whole thing is all about. Take a quick second to breathe, catch your breath, grab a sip of water if somehow it is accessible. I don't imagine that it could be accessible, but I said it anyway, so whatever, we're gonna move on. Come back into standing and shake out your legs. What we're gonna try to do is relax all of that tension that we just created in the side split looking position. And I recommend you do something that looks like this. We're going to shake the leg out. I'm gonna shake it loose. Loose, 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 loose. And we're gonna do the other side. Shake, shake, shake. Imagine you just got out of something like a pool and you're trying to flick the water off of your feet. Maybe you're trying to annoy somebody, you're like whoosh, 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 and just trying to splatter water all over the place. That is what we're doing. We're trying to whip that water away from your leg. And in the process, we want the legs to be loose. Because if you're a whip, whoosh, if it flops, right? Like it's like a whoosh motion. It's not like a huh. And we don't want you to be this. We don't want you to be a robot. We want you to be floppy and loose. When you're moving around and you look floppy and you look loose, your muscles, there's just no way for them to be super tense and stuck like this. All right. So shake out the legs. Try your best to make them floppy. If this is your first time joining us, it's going to be a little bit hard. It's a little bit more difficult to explain. You just got to practice. Start with the leg flip, and then as you get more comfortable, get a little bit more out of that hip and not just the knee. Pick up the pace a little bit, add a little bit of a shake, and your legs start looking like jello and floppy stuff. Noodles, overboiled ramen. Cool. Hopefully that didn't exhaust your legs because you're trying to figure out what we're doing, and instead help your legs relax a little bit because we're basically ready to move on into side split number 2. And I hope your legs are relaxed and I hope they're ready for this. Let's go. 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever you're going to fall back against, whether it's a wall or a table or a couch. Just make sure that what you're falling back onto is secured so that you don't fall onto it and then that thing starts sliding backwards, because that is an unnecessary amount of fear when you're going, oh my God, what's going on? Cool. All right. Open up your stance. Let's go. Fold forward at the hips. Put your hands down. See if you can immediately get into a wider position. Put your weight into your hands to make it easier on your legs to externally rotate them, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up on both sides. This is the most important part of the whole entire thing. So make sure you're doing it. Walk your hands back towards your hips to put some of that weight that we shifted forward into our arms back into our legs. And try our best to chill here for a second. Breathe. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. And once you're stuck, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. If you're close enough to the wall that you can rest your butt against the wall, it might help you to sit up a little bit straighter. And if you can sit up really straight and remove your hands, you're going to feel a really intense, crazy stretch in your stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward and bring your legs in. That is side split number 2. Chill out, relax, let the legs hang out. Breathe. I was going to say grab another sip of water, but we just discussed that it's probably unlikely you can actually reach anything from this position. So come back into standing and grab a sip of water before you start shaking it out. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. Imagine that you just made some pasta, kind of forgot about it for a little bit. You meant to like wash some dishes because you prepared the pasta sauce as well, and you're just looking at it now, pulling it out of the pot with the ladle thing with claws, and it's that is the feeling I want your legs to have. Shake out those legs, flap them around, do a wiggle, do a shake. This time around, in addition to shaking out the legs as you please, we're going to add in something very specific. This time, we're going to try to stand, bend your knees just a little bit. We're going to put all of our weight into one leg and put down a toe. Just one big toe. So all your weight is here. This isn't doing anything, all right? From here, I want you to point your knees out to the side. And then I want you to rotate at the toe so that you get a little bit of movement at the hip joint. Nothing else is moving, just the leg. We're just trying to give a little bit of love to the muscles in the hip right here that are going to be abused when we get back into side split number 3. And you don't have to do very many of these. And this is a very specific form only because I want to make it easy for you to figure out and do it. Once you've figured out what this movement feels like, you can add it in as part of your leg wiggle, just to loosen up your hips. But if you're brand new to this show, then you've only seen me flick my knee back and forth, really, and then a whole bunch of crazy other stuff that I haven't explained. So this is me explaining a little bit of the intention if you add a little bit of something like this into the leg shake. All right, it's for this movement. Okay, hope you've done a couple of those. I have no numbers for you, just do a couple. When your hips feel more relaxed, we're ready to move on. Cool, let's go. Side split number 3, there's a third and final side split. If you're just joining in, you have no idea what the heck we're doing, shaking out our legs and doing weird dances. We do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat, support each other, and hopefully that combination of good vibes, community, consistency helps all of us to make a whole bunch of progress in our hip mobility, in our side splits. With that, perfect segue, let's do some side splits. 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that you're standing in front of to help catch you when you fall backwards, whether it's a wall or a table. We're going to open up the legs into a position that is comfortable. We don't want your hips to hurt yet. From here, we're folding forward, putting our hands down, trying our best to give them a little bit of support to take some weight off of our legs so that we can externally rotate them. External rotation is when your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Heels down, toes up, knees up. In this position, your thigh bones are rotated so that part of the thigh bone does not smash into some of the craziness going on in your hip socket, in your pelvis. And this is the most important part of the whole entire thing. So make sure you are externally rotating those legs. From here, I'm holding this position because my butt is resting against the table leg. If you can also rest against the wall, you can also probably do something similar to this. But if you're not close enough to do that, then your hands are probably on the ground and you look a little bit more like this. Walk your hands back towards your hips. We're going to take the weight that we sort of shifted forward into our arms, and we're going to put it right back into our legs to get that deep Stretch. We're gonna do a wiggle from side to side and try to break the friction holding our feet back. And once you can't move any further, it's time for our final 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If you've been holding your body weight up with your arms and your arms have been locked out and straight this whole time, if you give them a slight bend, oh, oops, just fell out of it. If you give them a slight bend, you'll be able to put a lot more pressure into your legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on out. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. Oh, my earbud for TikTok is falling out, so I'm going to adjust that. Hopefully it doesn't sound awful. Whew. Come back into that kneeling position. Your hips are probably tired. Your legs are probably tired. And that's a good reason for us to wrap up right here. So let's go. Come back up into standing when you can. And let's shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. You don't have to extend your leg super far out in front of you to do the shake. I exaggerated a little bit to make the leg a little bit more visible, but you can just lean to one side. You can hold on to the wall for a little bit of balance and just let that leg shake and flop. You can rotate a little bit at that hip, that thing we just demonstrated with the big toe on the ground. Once you figure out how to do it with your leg floating, you can shake it out in a whole bunch of different other ways. Your calves can start shaking left and right. Your quads can start shaking left and right. And we can loosen up all those muscles all at the same time with just a couple of shakes. All right? So again, we're starting with the flicks. As you get more comfortable with that, you can add in a little bit more complexity. Front, back, wiggle, 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 flop, 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 shake, 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 shake. If you're still trying to figure it out, you can always plant your toe and do something that looks a little bit like this. I call this sort of stanky leg junior. Not nearly as intense as a big stanky leg. And that is basically all we needed for the hips. We're gonna do one last thing to wrap up, and that is some joint checks. We're just gonna make sure everything is working normal, feels good before you move on and do other stuff. We're gonna start with hip circles. Oh, right after side splits, I have a lot of tension here in the sides, the left and right side of the hip. So I like to spend some extra time there. If you have something else that is tight and needs a little bit of attention, go ahead, do some gentle movement, give it some love. Next up, we got some high knees. You don't have to do very many of these. Just check that your hip flexors are working well. We're gonna come down into a squat position, folding at the hips. We're gonna put some pressure on those knees, bring them forward, put some pressure on the ankles. That will happen automatically when you bring your knees forward. And once you're in this squatted position, I want you to do a little bit of a calf raise. If you are able to pull this off, come back up into a squat. And if all of that stuff worked, more or less, pretty normal for you, then you're all good. Your body is working. All of the main movements that your joints are supposed to work together and do, you got it. Okay, with that, we're done. That's it. That's everything. We're good. What is the time? We are 64 minutes in. So we have done 64-ish minutes of live side split stretching. And we do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little community, hang out, bring good vibes to the internet and to ourselves so that we can keep training and make a bunch of progress towards our side splits, towards our hip mobility. If that sounds cool, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on weekends, we do this at 9 a.m. Eastern. So you got lots of opportunities to come hang out and keep stretching. Cool. Tungsten Coin on YouTube asks, what are your thoughts on PNF stretching? PNF stretching is really good. It's very effective. We run this show a lot to help people start practicing consistency. So I don't do very much PNF stretching. I sort of kind of integrate it a tiny little bit when we talk about contracting muscles to help get into a position. It shows up particularly when I do the butterfly stretch and I ask everybody to contract their thigh muscles, outer thigh muscles and the glutes while they're pulling their knees down into the ground with their own muscle power. But we don't use any particularly PNF specific protocols for that. I basically present it as an opportunity to strengthen their muscles as they work on the stretch. So I like PNF, but PNF is intense and is a little bit tough to just get brand new people into. So that isn't what the live is about. Cool. Also, PNF is so much more intense than regular, just static stretching that it's much harder to show up day after day and practice consistency. What I care about most in this show is behavior change. Yes, we're talking about fitness, we're talking about hip mobility and side splits, but the most important quality is actually showing up and doing the work a ton, right? And it's really hard for most people to show up very consistently and put in the work. Even if you have the absolute best plan, the fastest way to do X, Y, Z, if you can't follow the plan, if you can't keep showing up, the plan doesn't matter. So my goal is to make the live fun, make it engaging, fill it with all sorts of fun commentary, and try to make it so that it's easier to show up every single day. We're here every single day at the same time. We're trying our best to make it engaging. So that's what we're up to. Cool. If that is interesting for the rest of you, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because that is what we do. I'm going to scroll down because the last question I saw was from Liz about her tibialis cramps when she sleeps. I'm going to see what has happened since then and see if I have any other questions to answer. I don't see anything else coming in from Liz, so I'm going to keep scrolling. Scroll. Travel Darcy says, thank you for the good vibes. Cat G says, woohoo, thank you. And that is the bottom of the chat on TikTok. Bread on YouTube says, hi, hello, hey Bread. I just remembered that the last time I came to the chat, I didn't actually scroll. I just looked at that one message from Liz. So I'm going to go back up a little bit to see if there's anything else I need to address. And then we'll be all wrapped up. Ganowski says, I love the butterflies too. Ganowski, thank you for the emotionally positive support. Oh, okay, cool. I think we are pretty much all done. Cat G, send in some clapping hands emojis. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's go. It is time. We are about 70 minutes deep into the live. There aren't that many questions left in the chat, or I don't think I saw any other questions left in the chat. So we're going to wrap up for today. I hope you had fun. My goal is to make sure that you are feeling good, feeling more mobile, feeling a little bit better about your movement with a little bit of exercise every single day. If for some reason you can't make it to the live and you want the workout, I do have a series of YouTube videos that are pretty good for that. Some of them are strengthening and mobility-ish for the lower body. It's mostly strength work. And one of them is a absolutely no talking version of this live. So if you like the stretches, but you're not super into waiting an hour to get through all of them, there is a version of this show where it's 15 minutes of like just bang, 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 whipping it out. And you can go try that. Cool. I think that's everything. So with that, I hope your muscles are relaxed. I hope you're ready for, I don't know, bedtime. Depending on where you are on the East Coast, I guess it's 10 p.m. And I hope you had so much fun that I'll see you tomorrow because we're here every single day. Let's go. Goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye. Bye, Bread. And Roxy, or Queen.